All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, world. Welcome to American Live, February 10th. Today we're going to be talking about Walmart crossing the $1 trillion mark in um, capitalization. Walmart, along with Berkshire Hathaway, are the only two non-tech companies who have crossed that $1 trillion mark in market capitalization, market cap. So we're going to talk about that today. And talking about Walmart, I spent my morning there. After dropping off the kids at school and at daycare, I shot over at Walmart. I did a little bit of a live session there. I went there for a little bit of a market research. If you guys are not aware, we are currently in the process of scaling our Nigerian crayfish brand. We are currently online, but we are working on getting into brick and mortar retail stores. And one of our targets, one of our key store that we want to get into is Walmart. So today I went to conduct some market research to see how we can better position our brand for Walmart shelves. So I'm going to show you, well, Walmart and then other brick and mortar grocery chains, Aldi's, Kroger's. Those are our targets. So we want to get into legacy online stores, legacy brick and mortar stores. Then we also want to get into regional grocery stores as well. That's what we want. For the past 5 years, we've been mostly online. We are currently on Amazon, doing very well on Amazon. We are also on Walmart online marketplace, doing extremely well on online marketplace at Walmart. Last year, I went to the Walmart Summit in San Diego to pitch our products. They absolutely love it. Show you guys. So this is what I found as far as like obviously this is not our brand, this is the Maggie packaging, but something like this is what we want to do as far as having the Berrycat 1 ounce crayfish products sold at physical retail. So something like this was what I went. You guys can watch that live session too. I shot it this morning. Go back and watch it. I actually went inside of Walmart. I was able to record inside of the Walmart stores, Walmart store here in town. But something like this particular box holds about eight products. But what we want to do is maybe design and manufacture a holding box that could hold, let's say, a dozen of our branded single 1 ounce crayfish pack. So something like this, perforated, very small to pack, very small to easy to display, and it also looks good. Obviously, we're not going to use the design here because our brand is mostly the white uh, color scheme and then the red iconic and Bearcat logo that you see behind me. Something like this is what we're going to be mirroring in a package like this. So as far as like the manufacturing of the package goes, this is going to be done in China. I have tried using Nigerian packaging companies in the past, and they just haven't provided the sort of results that I am looking for. So we are going to be outsourcing our packaging needs to a company in China that can help us work the design, that can help us produce this packaging at scale so we can start getting ready to target physical retail stores. We are still going to be selling online. We're never ever going to leave the internet. But we want to test how the product is going to perform at physical retail stores. And our objective in the next 24 months is to take the Bereket Crayfish brand to $1 million in sales. That is our objective for the next 24 months. And we can't do that just being online. We have to be inside retail stores. It's just the way it is. We're also looking into wholesaling, also looking into private label as well. So that's the objective that we have right now for the next 24 months. So yes, Walmart is a place that we want to. Man, could you imagine if we got into Walmart? They have the largest retail buying power on earth. That's my goal. We are aiming for the top. Everything else, Walmart is the apex when it comes to physical retail. If you can get inside Walmart and actually stay inside Walmart, you are golden. You are good to go. So that's the Bearcat plan for the next 24 months. And then I'm excited. I'm actually going to design. This was designed by me, but then the packaging itself was done in China. So I'm gonna design the case and hopefully we can get it where we can have one manufactured that holds a dozen crayfish pouches. Okay. So the $1 trillion market capitalization, Walmart is in good company, ladies and gentlemen. I woke up today a little under the weather. I don't know what's up. Some sort of allergy. Something is in the air. So the $1 trillion market cap companies, Walmart is in good company. So those in the $1 trillion club include Apple, Microsoft, Saudi Aramco, that's an energy production and global oil market company in Saudi Arabia. Google, Alphabet, Amazon obviously is on there. Nvidia, the semiconductor and AI computing infrastructure companies, part of that $1 trillion club. Meta Platforms is included. Tesla, with the merger of Tesla, with the merger of SpaceX. Why isn't SpaceX there? Because they just merged with XAI. So this is old. SpaceX is there as well because the merger between SpaceX and XAI combined, SpaceX is what, $800 billion, and then XAI is what, $400 billion. So that's about a one point. It'll put them over $1 trillion in market cap. So I'm surprised that SpaceX is not on here. Berkshire Hathaway is on here, company owned by Warren Buffett. And then Walmart is also on this list. They just got on this list what a week ago. So in full disclosure, I have a position at Walmart. I am a Walmart shareholder. I have shares at Walmart. It's doing extremely well. I started investing at Walmart about 3 years ago. This is one company, guys, and I'm not just being biased. I'm just being honest. For those of you who are looking to diversify your portfolio into stocks and index funds, Walmart is a position you want to look into. 96% of Americans know the Walmart brand. There's a Walmart store within a 5 to 10 mile radius of 90% of American households. So this is a brand that's not going anywhere. And they've also been investing heavily into artificial intelligence. They just recently partnered with OpenAI to be able to offer Walmart products inside of ChatGPT application interfaces. Walmart is really a technology company disguising as a an omni-channel business. They are really a tech company, guys. They are investing heavily in artificial intelligence. They're also a legacy brand. They've been, again, I'm not trying to sell you. I'm not trying to drip feed Walmart into your portfolio, but I'm just saying it's not easy for a company to move into the $1 trillion market capitalization space. Look at Walmart's neighbors, the companies that I just mentioned. These are world-class brands, and Walmart is up there with them. They just reshuffled their leadership team not too long ago. I was at the Walmart conference, as I mentioned, back in, Walmart Summit back in August in San Diego, and I got a chance to meet CEO John Furner. As of that time, though, he was not the CEO of Walmart Inc. He was the CEO of Walmart USA. But now he oversees the entire brand, the entire company. Nice guy. I was able to pick his brain a little bit. We talked a little bit. And then I met other leadership, Walmart leadership. They are very, very confident in what they're doing. They are very, very confident in what they are doing. So when I asked one of the leadership executive, the two categories that Walmart is looking at penetrating in the next 5 years, they tell me they're looking at penetrating the beauty category and also the fashion category. We are not talking about high-end fashion here. We're just talking what? Amazon is already on that space right now with Amazon Basics, where they're just literally working with fashion manufacturing companies in China to create just basic fashion wear that people use on a daily basis, from flats, something about shoes that people wear, to hats, to basic t-shirts, basic underwear, basic socks. Amazon is already in that space right now. And Walmart is looking at entering that space in the next 5 years and really dominating that space. So as far as like market dominance, we all know that Amazon is the leader. Amazon is the king right now when it comes to e-commerce, but Walmart is not too far behind. Walmart is not too far behind Amazon. Everybody right now, though, is looking at a way, including Amazon and Walmart, on how they can penetrate the fresh produce category. That has really been a tough nut for e-commerce grocery chain to crack. But guess who is in the best position to crack that nut? Walmart is in the best position to crack that fresh produce category. Do you know the advantage that they have over Amazon right now? Nationwide in the United States, there are over 4,500 physical Walmart stores peppered across the United States of America. Told you guys earlier, 90% of the American population live within a 5 to 10 mile radius of every Walmart store, and 96% of Americans know that name. Amazon is still building its physical retail outpost, though. They shut the Amazon Go and the Amazon Fresh stores right now, because everything right now they're trying to do, they want to focus more on how they can expand the Whole Foods grocery chain. But that's about 600 stores nationwide compared to Walmart's 4,600 stores nationwide. So these guys are looking at, I'm telling you, the day that physical shopping ended for me was when I ordered a T-bone steak online. I didn't feel like going to the store that day. I ordered fresh T-bone steak on Walmart.com. I had already told myself that they are going to fuck it up. That was the expected outcome. I was okay. This T-bone steak that I'm about to order online right now, let me just, Because I didn't want to be disappointed. I just kind of already figured, okay, I'm gonna pay for it. They're gonna deliver the worst T-bone steak I've ever seen in my life. I had already given up. Man, that T-bone steak arrived literally within an hour of the time I placed that order on Walmart.com. I heard my doorbell ring. When I looked at that T-bone steak, it was the freshest T-bone steak I have ever seen in my life. They actually picked the steak better than I would have picked it. That just goes to show you that they are not playing around when it comes to e-commerce, especially they are trying to gain, they want to gain the confidence of consumers that you could literally sit down in the comfort of your own home, order a T-bone steak, and they will select a T-bone steak better than you would have selected it yourself. So, like I said, they are investing heavily in AI systems. And you also look at the physical Walmart stores, the physical, isn't it different? You walk into it now, it looks more high end. The products are better. At one point, for many, many years, Walmart was associated with what? Low quality, poor quality products. Now, they have a wide range of high quality products, premium prices, and now they are starting to target what? Higher end customers. They are pushing hard into that premium space. They still offer everyday low prices, but you are also walking in, you're getting better quality items. Walmart is also expanding its private label footprint. So now they have what? Better Goods. This is one of their latest private label that just came out not too long ago. Probably say about what, 8 months ago? 8 months to about a year ago. And the objective with the Better Goods is to be able to come up with an idea and get it into physical retail within a week. They also just purchased Visio Electronics about a couple of years ago. So not only are they expanding through just overall renovations and remodeling of their stores, they're also expanding through acquisitions, like the acquisition of uh, Visio. And then you look at, do me a favor, when you are in a Walmart store, look in the back of the products that you buy. Almost always that brand that you think, like for instance, the Heart brand, that's actually a Walmart brand. So not only are they creating their own private label products, they are also just buying other brands outright and just keeping those brands independent. And then you see at the back of that label, it says distributed by Walmart. So this is a brand that I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on, and you shouldn't. If nothing else, consider adding it to your holding, your position. I'm going to share with you on Yahoo Finance right now what's the current share price of Walmart is. So it dropped by what, $2.05. It dropped by 1.59%, and now it's currently what, $126.97 per share. So I am never ever going to sell my position. I know Warren Buffett sold his many, many years ago. He exited Walmart way too early, and I'm pretty sure he's regretting it right now because he would have made a lot of money. So the ticker is WMT for anyone who is interested in buying Walmart shares. You can do this too on your own. You don't need a broker. The days of hiring a broker to buy shares for you, those days are in the past. Now you can utilize brokerage firms like Fidelity Brokerage. That's who I use. And I buy my own. I'm not a day trader. I don't trade stocks. I just simply just buy and hold. And Walmart is my anchor. I split my investments between the S&P 500 and Walmart. So 75% of my investments goes into the S&P 5. No, no, sorry. I have a 70-30 split currently. So 70% of my investment goes into the S&P 500, and then the other 30% goes into what? Doing this, buying Walmart shares. So let's look at this article from the Wall Street Journal. This is what drew my attention to this and wanted to cover it because, like I'm telling you guys, most people are, I know everyone is trying to invest in tech stocks and everyone is moving, trying to invest in Nvidia and all of that. There's nothing wrong with those shares. You can still buy those. But don't sleep on this company right here. Do not sleep on this company. Add this company to your position. Walmart. So let's look at this article by the Wall Street Journal. This was written by Sarah Nassau on February 3rd, 2026. Walmart reaches $1 trillion market cap as its e-commerce booms. E-commerce and AI, not just e-commerce, guys. Artificial intelligence as well, yes. Investing heavily in artificial intelligence. So Walmart is headquartered in Bentonville, Arkansas. So they are the first traditional retailer, brick and mortar retailer to reach this milestone. I already mentioned the other companies as well. Amazon is not a brick and mortar retailer. Amazon is primarily e-commerce. Although they are trying to build out their physical store footprint with the expansion of Whole Foods. So the achievement places Walmart among a small but growing club of companies that have a 13-figure valuation, including Amazon, Nvidia, Meta Platforms, and Microsoft. In trading on Tuesday morning, Walmart stock passed $125.47 a share, needed to reach $1 trillion valuation. Shares closed up 2.9% at $127.71 per share, giving the company a market cap of just over $1 trillion. Now, whether this stays at that trillion or it drops, it's to be determined. They usually don't stay at that $1 trillion, though. The market might change a bit and they might drop to maybe 950 billion. But based on what Walmart is currently doing right now, the trajectory is only going to keep on scaling, especially with their investments in artificial intelligence. So the stock continues to surge. I was looking at my position the other day and I'm just looking at how well Walmart has been doing for us. Just sitting there and just making your money work for you. It's like I regularly, consistently buy Walmart stocks and S&P 500 every month. And just sitting there and just watching money in action just work for you. I don't have to get up and, go grind for it. It literally just kind of works for you and just grows. Sales have also ballooned as more shoppers have turned to Walmart for low prices, fast delivery, and broad selection. They have the broadest selection out there as far as like physical retail is concerned. But they are still, I understand Walmart, what do you call it? The e-commerce store is growing, but they don't have, let's go to walmart.com right now. The selection is not as vast as the selection is not as vast as what do you call it? As Amazon's. No. So let's see here. The change at Walmart over the past decade, culminating with its $1 trillion valuation, has been has has been as profound a shift at a retail company that we have ever seen since Simon Gutman. He's a retail analyst at Morgan Stanley who has studied Walmart since 2001. So Walmart's growth, along with Amazon's, creates a challenge for competitors. He said, meanwhile, the Bentonville, Arkansas-based company will have to navigate the ascension of a new chief as long-term executive John Furner took the helm this month. Most of the 11 companies that at any point reached a trillion valuation are technology focused. The investment firm Berkshire Hathaway joined the group in 2024. Drug maker Eli Lilly crossed the mark in November. Oh, okay, you see what I mean? Before they dropped, before the valuation slipped to 949 billion. The same thing could happen though to Walmart, but they're still going to climb back up over that $1 trillion mark. So this is the outgoing CEO. This was the guy who left. Doug McMillan. He was the one that retired. So John Furner can come in and lead the company. So let's see here. About 10 years ago, some Walmart investors didn't see the company's success as a sure thing. Rival Amazon was growing fast. And Amazon is still growing, but Walmart is catching up to them. Walmart just recently also expanded internationally to um, to Canada and Mexico. So they're starting to export products now at the Walmart.com marketplace to Canada and Mexico. And people in Canada can actually buy directly from Walmart as well, not just Amazon. If you're in Canada right now, you know you can shop on Walmart.com and have your products delivered to you in Canada. I don't have any position at Amazon. I do not own any Amazon stocks. But Walmart is a company that I know very, very well. I mean, I worked there for 18 months in project management. I was privy to the internal workings at Amazon. I'm sorry, at Walmart. The company is a tech company. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. If you're sitting on the outside looking in, you might look at Walmart as a everyday low price physical brick and mortar store. But these guys, technology wise, artificial intelligence wise, they are, I'm telling you, cream of the crop. They know exactly, the people behind this company know exactly what they're doing. So don't sleep on this company, ladies and gentlemen. I highly recommend that you look into owning shares of this company. I don't think you'll regret it. So let's move forward. Company investments play a big part. Walmart made an effort to offer more items that appeal to high income shoppers, like I mentioned, guys, such as trendy small appliances and store brand foods. The company accelerated home delivery capabilities and can now deliver orders same day to 95% of US households. This is a fact. I told you about the T-bone steak order delivered within an hour. In the past, I've also ordered televisions. I ordered a 75-inch Samsung television at 8 o'clock in the morning. By 11 o'clock that same day, it was at my doorstep. So the delivery portion is what I feel that they've solved. They figured that out. Obviously they would love to have like what, a 30 minutes delivery window. You order something by noon, is at your doorstep by what, 12:30? That is only possible with Walmart. I don't see that happening with Amazon. So Walmart is positioned. They belong in this $1 trillion market cap club. They really do belong in it. It's a company that I believe in heavily. And if you've been following me, again, I am not a securities advisor. I'm just telling you guys what I'm tapped into. I'm tapped into I'm tapped into the S&P 500. Let me tell you something. Invest in the S&P 500. If nothing else, open a brokerage account. Vanguard, you can open it with Charles Schwab, you can open it with what? Fidelity. Invest in the S&P 500. And if you want to hold individual stocks, you want to invest in legacy companies. Walmart is one of those legacy companies. They are not going anywhere. They are part of the American fabric. It's the same as well Coca-Cola now. Where's Coca-Cola going? They're not going anywhere. What is it? What is the wonder what Coca-Cola is going for right now? Let's look at it. See what Coca-Cola is going for right now. Let's say Yahoo Finance, ticker. What is Coca-Cola's ticker? I don't know what the ticker is. Oh, so it's KO. That's Coca-Cola's ticker. $76.73 right now. I don't have this position though. I'm not a stockholder at Coca, a shareholder at Coca-Cola. But this is Warren Buffett's baby, one of Warren Buffett's baby right here. But I'm telling you guys, this S&P 500 is really what you want to invest in. American companies can't fail. American companies, American Fortune 500 companies, the system just can't let it fail. So yeah, consider this. Let's look at other news. The Wall Street Journal. So what's interested? What is up with Paramount? To me, it kind of seems that Paramount Studios right now is super, super desperate. They are trying to do whatever it takes to wrangle this deal, this Warner Brothers deal away from Netflix. What is happening here? They've sweetened the offer for Warner. What is the sweetened offer? What is it now? So this is a quick summary. Paramount enhanced its hostile bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, offering to cover Warner's $2.8 billion termination fee to Netflix. Isn't Netflix still in the running? What's happening? What is happening with this Netflix Warner Brothers deal? So Netflix agreed in December to buy Warner Brothers for $77.9 billion. So when asked if Paramount's new offer was best and final, Cardinal responded, "It's hard to say best and final when they aren't engaging with you." Okay. So it looks like Warner Brothers wants to partner with Netflix. That's what it looks like. Because right now, like this guy said, they're not engaging with Paramount. I mean, Paramount is just throwing offers at them left and right, and they're just not engaging with Paramount. So it appears that the Warner Brothers Netflix deal is the way to go. And then you got to think about it too. Who is better positioned to take Warner Brothers to the next level? Is it Paramount or is it Netflix? I think both of them are capable. They are both an entertainment company, unlike what happened back in the day. Remember when AOL merged with Time Warner? AOL is not an entertainment company. So that was how that deal fell apart. But you have Paramount, an entertainment powerhouse, and then you have Netflix, a digital entertainment. You see, Paramount is still more of a traditional entertainment powerhouse. And then you have Netflix, a digital entertainment powerhouse, trying to buy Warner Brothers, and they want to fold Warner Brothers into the digital ecosystem because that's really where it's going right now. There's always going to be a future for theatrical releases, but it's got to take something special. It's got to take something special to get me to go to a physical movie theater. And they don't come around that often. The last movie I saw at the physical at a movie theater was Avatar Fire and Ash. Before then, I believe it was Top Gun, Maverick. So people don't go to physical theaters anymore because they are building their own home entertainment system. We have what, 75-inch screen TV in our lounge. That's our home entertainment. That's where we consume and watch all of our content. So I think personally, because Netflix has that global market share that Paramount doesn't have, I think Netflix is the company that's better positioned to take Warner Brothers global. But we're gonna see what happens though with this fight, this offer, this battle that what do you call it? Paramount is waging against Netflix. Let's see what else is happening in business. What else is happening? Top Tesla executive leaves car maker. Why? Veteran Tesla executive Raj has left the company just a few months after the longtime IT executive was promoted to oversee sales and service for the company. As I move on, I do so with a full heart and excitement for what lies ahead. He wrote this on his LinkedIn post announcing his departure. He joined Tesla 13 years ago and rose through the ranks of its IT department. Last fall, his role was expanded to include sales and service for the electric vehicle maker, following the departure of Musk's top lieutenant, Omid. So why did he leave? Was he recruited by another company or what's going on? Okay, so he didn't respond to requests for comment. So we don't know. We don't know why he left the company. Let's see. Okay. Let's go back and see. Let's go to deals. I'm a deals guy. I like when companies buy other companies. Muba Dollar to buy Clear Channel Outdoor Holdings. What's this about? So Clear Channel, they're in the billboard business. They've also enhanced their digital presence over the years. So this Mubadala, that kind of sounds Middle Eastern, doesn't it? Where's Mubadala? Oh, okay, so Abu Dhabi-based Mubadala Capital manages, advises, and administers for clients and limited partners over $430 billion in assets. Abu Dhabi is investing in it. You see, I think this is what Nigeria needs now. Nigeria, you don't really see too many, you don't really see too many international companies coming in and just buying Nigerian companies. When was the last time you heard about some Abu Dhabi company coming in and buying Nigerian companies? We need to start creating the private sector in Nigeria. Everything is all about government, this, government, that. See how the Middle East is penetrating the United States market and picking up US companies. And remember, they don't make $1 million deals anymore. Everything right now is in the billions. If you're not talking the B word, we don't even have a conversation. That's the future of deal making these days, like billions. You hear that amounts thrown out, $1 billion deals. Let's see who else. Let's see who else. Transocean to acquire Valaris in a 5.8, what I'm talking about, $1 billion deal. Advance FedEx-led consortium to buy imports for 9.2 billion. NatWest to buy Evelyn Partners for 3.7 billion. Let's go over here to this Advent acquisition. So the deal for parcel locker provider will bolster the American delivery giant's business in Europe. All right. So Polish Impost is a Polish parcel locker provider. They've grown rapidly in recent years, and now have more than 61,000 automated parcel lockers across Europe that allow consumers to collect and send packages, as well as thousands of pickup and drop-off locations. The company has also grown through acquisition, buying up delivery businesses in the UK and Spain. Last year, it handled $1.4 billion, 1.4 billion parcels, up 25% on the year before. So FedEx and InPost won't integrate their operations. Okay, so they're going to keep it independent. So InPost is going to stay independent, but then they're going to be wholly owned by FedEx. Let's see what else is up. Saks to close 9 department stores, initial bankruptcy review. Spotify shares jump on strong earnings, subscriber growth. Let's read this earnings. Swedish audio streaming companies' premium subscribers increased by 10% year over year to 290 million subscribers. But Netflix podcast is also taking a bite out of Spotify now. Don't you see what Netflix is doing right now? There's like Netflix podcast right now. They're really taking a chunk of the podcast markets from Spotify. This is good though. So Zuckerberg is now, what's happening? Zuckerberg is buying a home in South Florida. The wealthy are moving to South Florida. He's going to join Bezos and all the other top billionaires of America, picking up homes in South Florida. Look at that property. An aerial view of the property right there. Look at that sprawling estate. Look at that. Look at the green. Look at the golf course right there. How much is Zuckerberg paying for this? Okay, the price is not disclosed, but agent is saying that it's anywhere between 150 million to 200 million dollars. All right, all right. Let's look at the main page here and see what stands out to me. Front pages are almost always like political. That's why I have my Wall Street Journal page bookmarks to the business section. What else is this? All right, let's go over to Nigeria. Let's look at Channels TV. See what Channels TV has. Senate reverses stance to allow e-transmission of election results. Let's see. Atiku Makinde hold closed door meeting with IBB. Ah, are you serious? What do you want IBB for? IBB is probably the last person you should be holding a closed door meeting with if if you're trying to run for the presidency of Nigeria now. IBB, that was part of the people who helped destroy Nigeria. So Atiku did not disclose a specific reason for his visit to General Babangida, but we know why. He's looking for endorsement. Atiku is looking for endorsement. Former Vice President of Nigeria and Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Tuesday held a closed-door meeting with the former military president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. Mm. They're looking for Babangida's endorsements. Active Dodger, what's up? I'm heavily invested in stocks. Active Dodger says he's heavily invested in stocks from Magnificent Seven to the Fantastic Four. Those ones are going away now, Active Dodger. AI is everyone is scrambling right now. You know what I mean? AI is everyone is scrambling, trying to get rid of their stocks. So the whole Magnificent Seven thing, AI is going to wipe all of that away with the Fantastic Four. AI is going to wipe all of that away. Now it's about would you put Nvidia in? Nvidia is not a Magnificent Seven or a Fantastic Four. Nvidia doesn't belong in that club. But they are leading right now. They invented GPUs. Nvidia, AMD, Intel, even though Intel is slowing right now. Let me tell you where capital is going right now. Capital is going towards artificial AI native companies. That's where capital is going right now. I'm telling you, for the next, let's say, 10, 20 years. Everyone has to be AI native, including the Walmarts, Amazons. They have to be AI native. What's up, guys? Where are you guys watching from? I have a little bit of time today. Time is it? It's 12:46. We've only been on the mic now for 45 minutes. I thought Netflix bought them. No, Netflix has not. The deal isn't consummated yet. So they are still talking. It's not official. At least as far as my understanding goes, the Netflix Warner Brothers deal is not official yet. Paramount has footing. Paramount has footing. They have the money. They have the backing of Larry Ellison, the father of the guy that's trying to buy Paramount right now. So money is not a problem, but what analysts are saying is that if Paramount were to buy Warner Brothers, it's going to lead to a lot of people being laid off. That is what they are saying. And it seems that, you see, if this was driven by money, Warner Brothers would have sold to Paramount already. So there's a certain threshold that you reach in business where money is no longer the decider. Because if it was all about that, then Paramount has more money all day long. When you have Larry Ellison, the founder of Oracle, backing you. So right now, it's just more of a long-term fit. And Netflix is looking at it this way. Remember, the Netflix deal does not include CNN and other properties. Whereas Paramount wants the deal to include CNN. Netflix is saying we're going to buy you for 77.8, $77.9 billion, dollars, but you can go ahead and keep CNN and do as you wish with CNN. We're not interested in that. Paramount wants to absorb CNN into the deal. And Warner Brothers is, I'm telling you, it's nice. At this point, it's not about the money. In my prediction, honestly, as a film major and someone who worked in the entertainment space for 12 years, I think the better fit is a Netflix Warner Brothers deal. That's the better fit. Look at what happened with because Jeff Bezos, Amazon owns, what did Amazon buy? MGM. They haven't really been able to do. Yes, James Bond is in the MGM portfolio. But what has Amazon really done with MGM since they bought them? It's not a good fit. You have an e-commerce company, a tech company buying a film studio. They haven't really done anything with the with the MGM library since it was purchased by Amazon. I just feel for the consumer, Netflix is the better deal for Warner Brothers. You will allow them to go ahead and still keep. Remember, they're still going to own CNN, and then they can maybe later on down the line sell CNN for two, three, four, $5 billion. I think overall it's a better fit for Netflix than it is for Paramount. So what other questions do you guys have? We see what's going on in Nigeria right now. I know CJ is not around, but there's a topic that she brought up earlier because we text back and forth. Would you go to Africa? Would you take an Africa tour with strangers? If someone were to come right now and they are launching a tour to Africa or a tour to Nigeria and they're trying to get a group of people together, would you do so with strangers or would you rather go with people you know? I met someone a couple of weeks ago who did such excursion tours to Ghana. Her biggest regret was she went with complete strangers. If she had to do it again, she would have just gone with her friends or her family, just people she knew, but she went with strangers. And she said all they did was complain the entire time. It's too hot. This food is not delicious. It was just, and then when you're dealing with strangers, there's only so much you can do. So my recommendation, if I'm recommending this to you, if you've ever thought about going to Africa, doing some sort of an African tour. Maybe you want to tour Kenya or you want to tour Nigeria. Go with people you know. You're better off going with a friend or two than a bus load of strangers that you don't know. Because all it takes is one person to ruin it for everybody. You know? So let's see. I want to go back and I want to go back to the channel's TV page to see if there's anything else that sticks out that I want to talk about. Like I said, these guys are just looking for an IBB endorsement now. They can't beat Tinubu. I'm not saying you shouldn't compete for the president or for the seat. Any eligible Nigerian that has the resources should compete. If you feel you can turn the country around, it's within your right to go ahead and run for office. But you're not going to beat a guy that has what? The number has now gone up to what? 31 Nigerian governors are now APC governors. That means every single local government, because remember, the governor of a state is the CEO of that state, is the leader of that state. So when the leader of a state is in a certain party, every other local government in that state, they have to toe the line. How do you win elections in Nigeria? You win elections through the local government. And if all of the local governments are mostly APC-led uh, local governments, who do you think they're going to vote for? They're going to vote for uh, the sitting president, who happens to be the overall leader of the APC party. So Tinubu Makinde, I mean, is Atiku trying to is he trying to pick Makinde as his running mate? Like, what is he trying to do? And also, what is Peter Obi doing in all this? I mean, put up a gallant fight, but I just don't see anybody right now. Not saying Tinubu's president, not saying Tinubu is actually doing a great job for the country. I mean, he's only been there, what, less than 3 years. But I just don't see this working. No. I just don't see it working. I think these guys are going to, also their backers. Who's backing the likes of Atiku and Obi? Who's backing them? If you are a funder, if you are a political funder, would you fund a party or a group of people that you know are going to lose an election? That's another thing too. Funding matters. Funding matters. Funders generally don't fund you when they know you're going to lose. How are they going to recoup their money? They fund people that they know is going to win. So if I'm a kingmaker and I put you in place as the president of Nigeria, you're going to figure out a way to, you're going to send contracts my way so I can recoup my investments. Usually how it works. Legal contracts. People always think, oh, political contracts are all illegal. No, I'm talking about legal contracts. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens in 2027. I honestly think it's going to be a landslide, but I could be wrong though. So it says that the preference of Nigerians is clear. They want real-time electronic transmission. Okay, what's really the big deal with this electronic transmission? So the only issue is that verbiage that Akpabio wanted to remove. He said that real time. See this to what real time was what Akpabio was removing. That's what he removed. And then you have the likes of Obi campaigning to put that word real time back into the policy. So it's just a whole verbiage thing. And Akpabio has since gone back on his word. They've now restored it to what it was before. It's not okay. It's not a big deal. That it's solved now. Let's move on to something else. Let's move on to something else. Look at Wike confirms meeting Tinubu with Fubara, Ash Rivers Assembly to do the needful. What do you mean by the needful, Wike? Wike the Bulldog. Wike the Bulldog. He makes a lot of people nervous. Wike hoped that this would be the president's last intervention on the crisis rocking Rivers states. This particular needful thing is what I'm talking about. What is it about? Okay. Wike said the meeting, which was held on Monday, February 9th, was at the instance of President Tinubu. So Tinubu called the meeting following the rift between Aigi and I thought Wiki and Fubara was already settled. Why can't they just get along? They're now in the same party. They're both, Fubara jumped ship from PDP. Fubara is now an APC governor. So what's really the beef now? What's the beef with Wiki and this guy? They can't get along. According to the minister, the move was the president's initiative in brokering peace between Governor Fubara and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. He appreciated the president's intervention and expressed optimism of a lasting peace between Governor Fubara and the state legislature. I remember this is the second time the president is intervening, and I believe by the grace of God, this is going to be the last time. Wike said after an inspection tour of ongoing projects in the nation's capital. I mean, we know that this guy, Tinubu needs River State to win the election, re-election. But do they really need Fubara? I mean, Wike is actually more powerful than Fubara in River State. But it helps though for them to get along though. It really helps. At least for the people of River State, it really helps for them to get along. What else? One killed as gunmen abduct 15 travelers in Benue State. Benue is hot right now. Benue is the food belt of Nigeria. Farmers can't go to their farms in Benue State. They can't farm their lands in Benue. Benue State Commissioner of Police, Ifeanyi, has again deployed tactical team to pursue the penetrators. Where are these guys coming from? So they kidnapped the 15 travelers along the Otonkon Okpoga Road in Benue State. The travelers were in a bus plying the road situated in Otonkon Axis, Ado local government area of the north central state before the government attack. The incident happened around 7 p.m. on Monday along the road linking Ado and Nkpoko. I mean, for you to rally up a whole 15 people like that, man. A youth leader, Jude, narrated to Channels Television how the incident happened. According to him, the commercial bus conveying 16 passengers was outward bound from Otonko through Buka, local government area. When we said the president, the passengers departed from Ihejuo markets, Oju local government area, and routes to different destinations in southwest Nigeria before they were intercepted by the gunmen, who stopped the vehicle and forcefully took the passengers into the bush. The gunmen collected the passengers' phones to prevent them from contacting their relatives, adding that the abandoned bus was later moved. Who's to say that the driver didn't have anything to do with this? Yeah. Look, guys abroad, I'm gonna close with this. If you are based abroad and you are traveling to Nigeria, if you are based abroad, refrain from public transportation. You want to be in control at all times of your going out and coming in. Refrain from taking public transportation. One of the first things that I did when I started working, really focused back on Nigeria, was I sent a car from the US to Nigeria. That's my personal car. It's garaged in my home. When I go, I simply just rent a car battery, start my car, and I go in and out as I please. I'm not dependent on a taxi. I'm not dependent on in public transportation. You want to control your movement in Nigeria. And if you have to leave the state and go somewhere else, if there's a flight available, take an airplane. Stay off the road. When it comes to interstate travel in Nigeria, if you are based abroad, obviously you've planned, you have the means to move around in Nigeria. If you have to go from, let's say, Lagos to Abuja, Lagos, if there's an airplane, take a flight. It's safer. And control your movement. That's if you want to be invested in Nigeria. If you're just going for, let's say, a holiday or what have you, that's a different story. You can hire an Uber or a ride sharing, use the ride sharing app and book a private ride. Don't get in a bus with strangers in Nigeria for those abroad. Active Dodger. I heard the first lady of Nigeria was ecstatic that Trump flattered her. But ironically, she was sidelined by the two evangelical pastors. Listen, if Trump calls your name, it's a big deal. But before I answer that, Active Dodger, let me finish with what I was saying. Nigerians, you see all these abductions that's going on, all this public transportation. I'm telling you, the drivers are almost always in cahoots with the kidnappers. The drivers. Think about it. You have an opportunity to load 15 people in the bus. It's human trafficking now. That driver probably struck a deal with the kidnappers and said, okay, for every person, these 15 people, I will charge you 100K per person. Multiply 100K by 15. And they are basically taking people and handing them off, human trafficking, to so-called kidnappers. You have been trafficked. I'm telling you, do you think it's easy to just get ran, just get pulled up over the side of the road? All of this is intelligence. It's all planned. So you want to stay off of public transportation. Don't get in a taxi with people you don't know in Nigeria. I don't remember the last time I did that. Where my vehicle can't go, if I have to take a bike or I have to take public transit, I am private. And those of you who think, look, you can drive in Nigeria with your state ID card, with your state driver's license. You can drive. You don't need an international driver's license. You don't need. You listen. When I'm in Nigeria, I drive with my Nevada driver's license. It's valid, right? If I can drive in America, I can drive in Nigeria. You can drive. You don't need an international driver's license. You just use your state issued license. You can drive. Drive yourself. But Nigeria can be crazy too. Let's not ignore the fact that Nigerian drivers are men, but me, once I'm behind that wheel, I'm just like you too. America out the door. If you are this close to me, I'm that close to you. Seriously. That's how you navigate and move. But if you don't have the heart to get behind the wheel in Nigeria and drive, please take private, make arrangements for private transportation solutions. Don't get in the car with strangers. Definitely don't get in the bus with strangers. When you are a passenger in a bus full of people, you have no control of nothing. You are under the mercy of the driver. And then these so-called 15 people that they just abducted, maybe five of them might also be in cahoots with the driver. And then fly. And on the topic of flight, I just read that Ibom Air does not allow people to carry anything over 200 kilowatts of, power bank, right? That you use to power your phone. I just saw that yesterday. You know why that floored me? Because I'm going to Nigeria soon. I was planning on buying an EcoFlow um, power bank that I was going to. It's like a 750 watts. I was just going to carry it and in my suitcase, and I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't because they would have confiscated it in Nigeria. So 200 kilowatts is the maximum lithium battery capacity you are allowed to carry on Ibom Air. I don't even think Delta, if you're flying from abroad, from the US to Nigeria, is even going to allow you to carry more than 200 kilowatts. So I have to figure out how to solve this problem now. So now I'm facing a power bank issue now. Because I don't trust Nigerian power banks. I don't trust all those Chinese imported Chinese power banks in Nigeria. I trust US made or stateside. So I got to figure out a solution right now because I don't want to be running gen overnight anymore when I'm in Nigeria. That's what I do. I'll run my gen from like 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I spent an average of $30 a day to power my home in Nigeria because I will buy fuel and I'll run my generator from literally me. I can't sleep without AC or fan. I got to have both on one or the other. Otherwise, I can't sleep. So what I had in mind was buying the what's up, CJ? CJ, what's up? So what I had in mind was buying that 700-watt power bank so I can at least plug my fan. And also, it's gotten to the point now where I'm even taking American fan to Niger because I no trust una for Niger. Una don't show me pepe. The fan I'm talking about is a tabletop fan, just a small tabletop fan, high capacity tabletop fan that I can put in my suitcase, take to Nigeria, put on my bed stand, maybe get two, one for one side, one for the other side, just let that thing blow me all night long. Because the fan that I bought in Nigeria did not last me one day. Have you ever bought a brand new fan? You open it up in a brand new box. You plug the fan in, the fan no work. I'm sorry, but you see, I know fit deal. I can't deal anymore. It's to a point now where I have got to take everything that I need from America to Nigeria, including food. The only thing that I'm not going to take from the US and Nigeria is swallow. Because man, that fufu, that Akwa Ibom fufu no get equal. You can't you can't manufacture Akwa Ibom fufu anywhere but Akwa Ibom. And when I'm in Nigeria, besides let's say breakfast, for me, for the 2 weeks that I'm there, lunch, swallow, dinner, swallow. Make I go Nigeria, come begin to go chop rice, begin to go chop burger. Are they crazy? But breakfast wise, I've got to take my peanut butter from here. I'm a peanut butter guy because it's rich in protein. Then I got to take what else do I take? My coffee. I'm a coffee guy. You guys know now. I feel black. I can buy plantain in Nigeria, fry my plantain. I can maybe even do with the Ororo, that those little sachets, the sachets, hey, Jesus Christ, the sachets vegetable oil, I can deal with those for my breakfast. But pantry stuff, America. Even on our water there for Niger self, suspect water in Niger, suspect. I've got to take those little purifying peels is what I use. I'll open up my bottle, put it inside, shake it, let it purify the water. That's how I drink. Didn't you guys just hear recently that NAFDAC just confiscated a bunch of fake? Let me see if I can find it. Just recently, NAFDAC just confiscated a bunch of fake stuff on fake medicines. Oh, talking about medicine too, guys. If you are traveling to Nigeria, I beg, take aspirin with you from abroad. Take aspirin with you. Take Alka-Seltzer. Take mosquito repellent. Don't depend on Nigerian medicine. Where is this NAFDAC? NAFDAC seizure. Just recent seizure from NAFDAC. I can't pull it up on. It's not allowing me to pull it up. So to answer your question, Aftik Dodger said the first lady. Okay, so she was ecstatic that Donald Trump. Let me pull it up. Actually, let's see what Donald Trump said to her. Donald Trump, first lady of Nigeria. Okay, so Vanguard. Let me show you guys what this active Dodger is talking about. All right, where are you guys watching from? Post in the chat. Post in the chat. Allow. Allow. No big deal. So it says the US president acknowledges Nigeria's first lady as respected woman. What is her name? What is the president's wife's name? All right, all right. She was at the prayer breakfast on Capitol Hill. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu as a very respected woman. This is even as the First Lady dismissed the global concern about persecution of Christians in the country, saying that it was based on propaganda. It was not propaganda. Oh. Active Dodger said, I sent a WhatsApp request the other day. Accept it. When? Ah, there's no pending WhatsApp request from anybody. Maybe you did. I declined because I get a lot of. Please, active. Send it again. Maybe you did because I didn't know the number. And did you introduce yourself and said it was you? If it's just a random number, I get a lot of those. I don't bother. I just kind of decline. Also, a lot of like Facebook friend requests from strangers. I don't accept all those. Active, please send it again so I can forward it to CJ. All right, so we are honored to be joined today by the First Lady of Nigeria, who happens to serve as a Christian pastor at one of the largest churches. A very respected woman, Trump said. First Lady, where are you? Thank you very much. So, he acknowledged her. It's a great honor to have you with us. So, this was in DC. So, Tinubu said that Trump is a divine intervention. She the Chris. She says she sees divine intervention in US President Donald Trump's focus on protecting Christians in the country, as it has created an opportunity to elevate relations with the United States and tackle insecurity. You see, people are saying that the reason, let me exit out of this one. They're saying that the reason why Bola Tinubu now is all focused on terrorism is because Donald Trump called him out. That Bola Tinubu was not really focused on terrorism before the US presidents, before the US started putting their feet on their necks in Nigeria. How accurate is that? Whatever. I mean, Trump acknowledged her. I think whatever. Trump has a bullhorn. He has the largest platform in the world. For him to acknowledge the first lady, what does she even do for Nigerians? Does Oluremi, what's the guy's name? Ahmed Tinubu. Does she have a Nigerian First Lady program? Like, what does she do? Every time that I've seen her, she's giving away free tractors or giving away something. What program does she have in place instead of dashing people money? So she was sidelined by the two evangelical pastors. Maybe they don't know her. Maybe they just don't. They are not, these evangelical pastors are not really political people. So they may do maybe it wasn't done intentionally. They just don't know her. I'm pretty sure behind the scenes, they probably met up with her, shook her hand, introduced themselves. But I don't see the need for them to acknowledge the first lady after the president of the US has already acknowledged the first lady. You see, now it's diminished returns because Trump is the apex. If Trump has already acknowledged her, for them to now come and say, we see you too, is nothing. Don't read too much into it. Don't read too much into it. Active, I'll be in Nigeria in April. Good time. How long will you go for? Good time to travel. You are at the tail end, though. You are actually at the very beginning of rainy season. So I think you are still good. April, May, you are still good. It's the end of May that it starts becoming an issue. And it also depends on where you are going. Nigeria, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I miss Nigeria. I'm traveling soon as well. He has been telling you for 2 days, oh. So Active has been telling me for 2 days that he sent me a chat. Please send again. I don't have it. I am not sure how WhatsApp works, but I shall. I'll get your number from your website. Okay, if not, let me tap it here. 702 201. I don't think my number is on my website too. Okay, Active. See, my number is there. I just put it. Let me pin it. I've pinned my number for you. Trump Active said she was building a library but asking for donations for it. Presidential. Let's look up Tinubu's programs. the wife. Oluremi. I don't think that there's a shortage of donors. State House. Let's look at the State House website to see what she's doing. I don't think there's a shortage of donors for Tinubu now, for the First Lady's program. Let me open this up for you guys to see. Maybe she can, instead of doing the presidential library, maybe she can do an energy, some sort of like an energy program where Nigeria can have uninterrupted light. So she's the first, is she a senator? Senator of what? Representing Lagos Central from 2011 to 2023. Okay, so it was when the husband won the election that she gave up her senatorship. See, there's not much about her. Like we don't know what she's up to. Office of the Vice President. No, I'm looking for the First Lady. Let's look at this presidential villa to see. Office of the First Lady. What is she? Again, I don't, like I said, she's, I don't know anything. I don't know what she's doing. Let's see. Oluremi Tinubu plan. What is her plan for Nigeria? Renewed. Let's go over here. So renewed hope. First Lady empowers Lagos residents. Plans support for the elderly across Nigeria. Why is President Tinubu congratulating the Seattle Seahawks players of Nigerian? Okay, because that Nwosu guy scored a touchdown, so he's in Nigerian descent. Tinubu congratulates players of Nigerian descent who led the Seahawks to victory in Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Players of Nigerian descent on the team's lineup who helped achieve the victory include Jalen Oluwaseun Milroe, quarterback Nick Emawori, defense standout Uchenna Nwosu, boy male, a linebacker. They're probably going to give them land or something. You know Nigerians now. Footballers will come home and they'll give them 100,000 naira and a piece of land. Tinubu wishes them continued success and more victories. Okay, that's good. Let's just stop there, please. You can wish, just wish them well. It's not every time that somebody wins the championship that they get a plot of land. It's not every time. So wish them well, send them on their merry way, acknowledge them. Since we are talking about acknowledgement, I see you, you're a Niger guy. Congratulations on the win, and let it be that. It pisses me off every time I see players come back because they won, Super Eagles won a game, and then they come home and then they get a plot of land. Or they all get houses. Going to visit my mom. We'll head to Sierra Leone and back to the States. That's good. That's good. Congrats, man. Not a presidential library. Library for kids, I think. How much is it now to build a library for kids? She doesn't need donors for that. Can't she finance that with her own money? Yes, I have made contact. Thank you. Okay, okay. So you guys are good. Okay, so CJ, you and Active, you've linked, right? If you guys are linked, then it's all good. Okay, 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 okay. What's up? What's up? What else you guys want to talk about before I go? I'm telling you, I went to bed last night feeling fine and then woke up today with allergies. So I took Dayquil. If I'm a little drowsy, it's because I took Dayquil. So I'm at the State House right now, the President's State House. Let's look at news here that I can share with you. Okay, the last one was congratulating the Seahawks. We've talked about that. Shetima. Oh, CJ, there's an energy summit. Oh, wait, Ninth International Energy Summit. Is this old article? I think this is an old article. Okay. This was back in March. Sorry, 0302. So this was February 3rd, 2026. There's an energy summit somewhere in Abuja. Ninth International Energy Summit. Something I think CJ would be interested in. This is their summit, man. There's really no follow through afterwards. When everyone has gone, what's next? Then the next thing you know, there's a 10th summit. Hey guys, before I go, let's look at NITCOM. Let's look at NITCOM's website. I really want you guys to NITCOM. Let's look at NITCOM's website. This is a website, ladies and gentlemen, that I want you guys to be familiar with. I'm going to pull up NITCOM's website right now. We can go over it together. So if you don't know what NITCOM is, it's Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, enacted by the National Assembly for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So NITCOM's primary issue is when Nigerians abroad get into trouble, NITCOM steps in to try and bail them out. That's like their primary motivation, their primary objective. They also care, they also look into Nigerians' welfare abroad. Most Nigerians in the diaspora don't even know that this organization exists. They are very, very difficult to get a hold of, though. But if you're in trouble, you can get a hold of them faster than if you're not. If you're a law-abiding citizen of or a law-abiding resident and you're just looking for information on investments, NITCOM is very hard to reach. But the moment that you enter problem, man, they will just spring up and try to save you and get you returned safely back to Nigeria. So let's look at what's this lady here. Her name is, what is her name? She's the leader of NITCOM. What I want to look at is this Diaspora Day. Look at this Diaspora Day 2020. So this has passed, obviously. About Nigerians in the diaspora. Let's look at investments. See what's in the investment portal of NITCOM's website. So they want you to fill out a form, and then there's investment interest here. Is it FGN? Let me tell you something. I've done, hey guys, I've done all this. I haven't heard back from NITCOM. It's been what, 6 months now? I'm not going to follow up. It is what it is. But this is what these guys are all about. Again, very difficult to get a hold of. They really don't have a program like that for, it says the Diaspora Day. Let's look at the program for diasporas. So this was back in July of 2025. I think it's in Nigeria. Well, anyway, you guys can go ahead and read this on your own. You can visit nitcom.com, the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission website. Any questions you have about investment, you can reach out to them directly. That's what they do. They try to help Nigerians abroad, and then they have a little bit of an investment thing here, but you got to reach out to them, fill out a form, and hope they get back to you. They also have a housing scheme as well on the NITCOM website for you guys to check. I've looked into all this, nothing came of it. So maybe you have a better luck than me. Really, why are we embracing diaspora-based problems that the dedicated organization was created to build Nigerians? Yeah, I mean, that's it. You know, when Nigerians are deported or they get into some sort of legal issues in abroad. NIDCOM is like the commission, the organization that the Nigerian government sets up to help Nigerians. They also help facilitate I guess the deportation of Nigerians back home. They want them to be treated humanely. They also have a housing scheme. Actually, let me show you guys that again. Maybe you might be interested in that. So this is their housing scheme here. This last tab. If you click on it, Diaspora National Housing Fund, mortgage, then the National Housing Program. You guys see the National Housing Program for those in the diaspora. You just gotta, it says here, Section 4, units available per state. So every state has houses available that the diasporas can buy. This was last updated on January 2024. So there's Akwa Ibom State here. So Akwa Ibom State is here. So Akwa Ibom State has a total of 22 or 23 houses available. But if I don't want to buy a house, I would rather just build. If I want, especially if I want to stay in Nigeria long term, guys, if you're planning on staying in Nigeria long term, you're better off buying land and just building something that suits your needs. Because you guys know all these homes that they are buying, that they are building in Nigeria, majority of them are built to Nigerian specifications. Most of them don't have garages. They only have carports. They don't have garages. All these duplexes that they're building in Nigeria, carports, carports, carports. So they are building it for those who are based there. They are not considering that the owner might be based abroad. He said, my dad had foresight when he started our house. Two-car garage. I think at that time, people were probably laughing at him, like, what do you need a two-car garage for? Is it not the same car garage that I used today to garage my car? My car is safe. I just cover it up with a car cover. I don't even jack up the wheels. I just put a car cover around it. Then I'll take a little bit of a tissue and I'll plug the exhaust. So not a tissue, like a napkin. And then I'll plug the exhaust to keep anything from like crawling into the exhaust and damaging things. So I just plug it up. And then when I get home, I remove the plug, rent a car battery, start my car, maybe go to the organizer, air up the tire a little bit to the standard 35 psi is what I think it is. And then I go about my business. And then when I'm done, I park my car in my garage and I come back to the US. Nobody drives my car, nobody touches my car, nobody even enters my house. Better an empty house than a house with the wrong person. For those of you abroad who have homes in Nigeria and you think, oh, let me just let my cousin live in there, let my brother, don't do it. You are better to keep your house empty than to have the wrong person inside. There are stories. They will take over your house. They will think that they own your house. It's happened. There's a colleague of mine based in Ohio. He allowed some guy to live rent free on his property in Nigeria because he wanted to have a body in the house. He wanted to have presence in the house. This guy wasn't maintaining the lawn, living rent free. Oh. He wasn't maintaining the lawn. He wasn't keeping the place clean. Occasionally, this guy will send a spy to just go and monitor to see what's happening. They will send him pictures. So the day that he decided to evict this guy from his house, he refused to hand over the keys. It was a big mess. Huge mess. The guy felt that because he was living in a house, he owned the house. And in some cases, there's this law, the squatters law. When you allow somebody to live in your home for a period of more than 30 days, it's very difficult for you to evict them. You can't just go and change the locks. Anything more than 30 days, they can legally be squatters. 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 They can legally be squatt And some of these people are claiming ownership of the homes. So you are better off keeping an empty house than allowing the wrong person inside. For the past 3 years, nobody has lived in my house. Every quarter, like clockwork, I'll send a team from Uyo, go and do landscaping, cut the grass, pull the weeds, clean up the home, dust the furniture, air out the house while you guys are working. And then when you are done for the day, lock everything up, lock the goddamn gate, take a picture, send it to me. I've been doing it like this now for 3 years straight. No issues. When I get to Nigeria, I don't have to announce to anybody that I'm coming. I take my keys. I have my keys here. Jeje. Book a cab directly from the airport to take me to my village. Maybe only one person knows I'm coming. That's my uncle in the oil and gas sector. He's the only one that I tell that I'm coming because you know why? He always wants me to bring things from abroad. He will send me the money. He has a US bank account. There was a time that I went and I bought almost $1,600 worth of clothing for him at the fashion outlet store. He's into like polo shirts. I'm talking about Polo Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger. That's his thing. Maybe a little bit of Nautica here and there. But he always wants Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger and a little bit of Nautica. And I'm like, but uncle, what, $1,600 worth of clothing. Rich, I just wear it, and when I'm tired, I just like most of this stuff, so I give it away for as a gift. He will just wear the thing because it's every year that I go home, he has to update. He will just wear it one time, give it away to people. And then most of it, this was the guy that came to America and bought two brand new Ford Explorers, one for himself, one for his wife. He likes American stuff. That's probably the only reason why I tell him because I know that he's going to want me to bring something from him for him from abroad. And then he pays upfront. Or I just go, I pay for it, and then at the end, I just send him the receipt, say, okay, this is what I paid for the item. And then boom, within a 24-hour period, he has zelled the money to me. So that's about it. And there was one time that I went home and I didn't want to bother him. I just took a cab from the airport straight to my house. Ah, he raked. No, 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 Rich, no, 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 please. If nothing else, I want to go and pick you up from the airport. And then I go home, Jeje, and I'll tell my manager, Sam, that I'm coming. He's another person that I tell. All Sam has to do is just go home and make sure that the place is swept, cleaned, my borehole is functioning, all of my electronics are all functioning. And then when I get there, it's as if I'm walking out of my house in the US into my house in Nigeria. No issues. Nobody there. Maybe I'll send them on an errand. Go and buy rice, buy this, buy yam, buy something, and just leave it, put it in the kitchen for me. So when I get home and I walk into my home, I have everything that I need for the 2 weeks that I'm there. And then at the end, when it's time for me to leave, we'll arrange a cab to come and pick me up from the village and take me straight to the airport. No fanfare. Nobody knows when you're coming, nobody knows when you're leaving. So for those of you who are there, you are opening up your home to people, you should probably reconsider. Because the day that you are going to want your keys back, they're not going to hear that one. They're not going to hear that one. I like the idea, but not the abandonment of the project. I have heard scary stuff. Squatters' rights. Yes, now. Squatters' rights is global. It's not just a US thing. 30 days is all they need. You see, Most homeowners don't know this. 30 days is all they need. The moment day 31, the smarters' rights kicks in. That is why I'm sorry, I'm selfish. I don't allow people to live in my house. You come to visit and you leave. Same thing. The way I move in the US is the same way I move in Nigeria. Nobody is living. Listen to me. I only live with three people: my wife and my two daughters. End of story. That's how I choose to run my household. I only live with my immediate family. My mama today no fit live with me, both in the US and in Nigeria. If push comes to shove, I'll buy a small plot of land nearby and I'll build her a one-bedroom unit. So she can go and congregate with all of her friends and all of her church people and all that stuff. She can visit, but she can't stay with me. Boundaries. Sorry. My mama no fit live with me. So keep that in mind, Nigerians in the diaspora, Nigerians abroad. Another way for you to also reclaim your home. See, when I took possession of my home, I didn't give, because my dad was very, very loose. My dad was the opposite of me. My dad allowed everybody in. This one can live, stay. This one can get a room. When my dad passed away and all that property reverted to me, you know what I did? I picked up the phone and I called each and every one of them. I said, when is the earliest you can get out? You see, I put the burden on them. Hello? Yeah, this is Richard. Listen to me. I didn't even say I want my house back. I asked the question, when is the earliest you can get out? Hey, Rich. Okay, okay. Uh, October 30th. October 30th. Goodbye. Call the next person. When is the earliest you can leave? Oh, June. June. Goodbye. There was no room for negotiation. There was no room for pep talk. There was no room for listen to me. Get out. And some of them will say, okay, can I put my belongings? No, you can't put your belongings. Take yourself and your belongings. When I say, when is the earliest you can get out of my property, I didn't mean just the body. I mean every fucking thing you own, from your pictures to your underwear to your slippers. Everything has got to go on that day that you gave me. And that was what happened. Oh, and then to make it even better, the moment they gave me that date that they were leaving, I immediately initiated the services of an attorney to officially serve them a vacation notice based on that date they gave me. So the one that gave me the August date. August, okay. I call my lawyer, draft a quick notice letter for August 30th and go and serve them. Rich, you wicked though. You can okay, I wicked. Come off of my property. That's how I cleaned them all out. And that's why I have the peace of mind that I have today. Nobody cultivates my lands. Nobody lives on my properties. Nobody better dare come near me. You see, I invite people in. You just don't have free reign to just can't show up like that. You know, they work like that too. Otherwise, they will drag you down. They will frustrate you. They will insult you. That was what I did. Did my dad have a will? My dad did not have a will. My dad died interstates with no will. That's another thing too, guys. Get if you have aging parents, you know these Niger parents, they don't want to do will. They get picking all over the place. 25 kids by 25 different women. No will. Um, if he can get a will, in my father's situation, he died in a state, he didn't have a will. Um, so everything does natural. In short, in a way, if I even happy say the guy no get a will. Because with all the girlfriend with the guy didn't get, God knows, if I don't give this one house, give this one land. So that's another thing too that I used to my advantage was there's no will in existence. So therefore, I, as the first child, who also happens to be the first son, that makes me the natural estate executor. So I jumped on that fast. And I also went through the court system too, in a way, a little bit in Nigeria though, because in order for me to get approval as an estate executor, I had to show them my dad's death certificate to prove that he is no longer alive. So I took the death certificate to Nigeria, all the paperwork from the US side of things. So the court granted me as a estate executor, and that was how I started clearing things out, consolidating everything because it was a mess. My dad lived a very loose life. I mean, it was a mess, man. People will come in, take generator and not return it. People will come in, borrow tank. You know this GP tank that they used to store water. They will come and lie to my dad. Oh, I'm just using it for a wedding or for this weekend. They will take it and not return it. All because he was based in the US. So a lot of that happened. Nigeria is a place where you got to hold your investments close to your vest. And it's a place where you don't necessarily need to have too many people involved in your affairs. All you need is one or two relatives that you trust, that you can depend on, that they've proven themselves over time. Those are the ones that you can confide in. If you are doing anything like me, in my case, anything major that I'm doing, I always try to seek the advice of that my uncle in the oil and gas sector because the kind of life that he lives is the kind of life that I'm emulating. The man hold pay, he hold. This one no be say, if my uncle say he won't come US tomorrow, if he come. And he has been rich since I was a child. It's not as if he just woke up one day and came across money. My uncle, I'm 47 years old. I met my uncle for the first time when I was 4 years old. He has been rich since I was 4 years old. You think saying a stupid person they maintain wealth? Stupid person don't maintain wealth that long. So everything that he has, he he is what I aspire to be. So I hold him to the level unlike anything else. So the point I'm trying to say is find somebody to confide in. Nobody is an island, especially for you people. I know CJU, you are looking at getting into investment. Find someone you can trust in your family that you can trust and start sharing your dreams with that person. Even if it's a silly idea, I still reach out to him. I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about this. Even if it's a silly idea. And all I'm looking for, it's not as if I'm looking for validation. I just want a different perspective from somebody who has been there and done it. And then once I get his perspective, ultimately the decision is mine, right? But once I get his perspective, then I will decide, do I want to proceed? Do I not want to proceed? And he also trusts my judgment that if I decide to proceed on something, okay, Rich, I think that's the right thing to do. I think that's the right way to move about this. But the issue with Nigerian culture is that our culture is a very secretive culture that doesn't allow people to share their dreams because they are worried that if you share your aspirations, some witch in your dad's village is going to counter that ambition, or some wizard in your mom's village is going to counter that ambition. My mom told me when I was a kid, the problem shared is half solved. A goal shared is half solved. Not saying go on the internet and start broadcasting on social. You see, social media is not real. But if you aspire to do something in Nigeria, you have aspirations to maybe start a business, you have aspirations to do something. So long as it's legal, find someone within your family circle that you respect and start talking to the person about your goals. You may learn a thing or two. You may learn certain things to avoid, certain things to look into. But when you start holding your goals in your heart, and also, in addition to that, you need to also start sharing your goals with your partner too, meaning your wife, your husband. I'm not talking about if you just met a guy a month ago, you start telling him your dreams, or you went and met a girl a month ago, you start to, if you have a long-term partner, somebody you know that this is the partner that for me, we're going to be together for, start talking to your partners. Most of you don't do that. You want to be king. You want to be, start sharing. Nothing, let me tell you, ultimately, the way that my relationship works with my wife is a relationship of respect. You see, you got to value a woman's point of view. Now, I'm talking to all the men out there now, especially Nigerian men, because most of you are brought up to be prideful. But you have to respect the point of view of your significant other. Remember, this is the person that you are building a life with. Who better to share your dreams with than the mother of your children or the father of your children? That's if you guys are still together and you have a cordial relationship. You see, I always say nobody wants the best for me more than kids. And I will probably say this with confidence. I don't think Kate has ever shut down any idea that I have for Nigeria. For going on what 9 years now we've been together. If anything, she will say, okay, how can we approach this better? But she has never ever told me, don't do this, don't do that. In Nigeria, some of you as there, your people are telling you, don't invest, don't. You see, another thing too, you guys, you can't be taking your family resources and be feeding people in Nigeria. You work, instead of paying your bills, you send money home. That kills relationships in Nigeria. Take care of take care of America or abroad first. And then the surplus is what you invest in. Is what we do now. But going back to sharing your goals and your dreams, start getting into the habit of doing it. Form a network of like minds. And all it takes is another person. It doesn't have to be a group of people. It can be well, another person, or you want to do this, you want to do that. I like how Active Dodger and CJ are connecting. Again, I don't know why they're connecting. Maybe they're, I don't know. But at least they have shared interests. Some of you are trying to go at this alone. You're trying to be a lone ranger. That's not how investments work in Nigeria. You got to have allies, and then you got to have people, you got to have a solid team of people who know what they're doing, who know the climate. There's this thing when I was in the military, they used to tell us, actually, you probably know this. Know yourself, know yourself, know your surroundings, and know your enemy. Know yourself means you got to know your strengths. Know your environment in the context of this Niger side means you got to know Nigeria. You got to know. So you need that team of people who maybe they know the surroundings better than you and they can advise. Remember, ultimately you are the decision maker. The buck stops with you. But you can't enter Nigeria to do an investment or to get into business and thinking you know everything. You will get your lights shut out faster than fast. Richie, today's podcast was inspirational. Thank you. You're welcome, brother. Let's see. Should probably wrap up. Yes, 2 hours. My mom is tied to all of our 6 kids. She rotates where she lives. She must be with us. Non-negotiable. Nothing wrong with that. Where are you all versus her? Active Dodger said, we are all here. She travels all over and rotates. My brother is in Ireland. Old money is appreciated. Rich, today's podcast. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, everyone, just marry well. Marriage is both emotional, 100%. There was a time when I used to work for Walmart on the road. My markets was I had two markets. Utah, the state of Utah was one of my markets, and then the state of Colorado was one of my markets. So in the state of Colorado, there's this hotel that I used to go to. It's called the Brown, some James Brown, something hotel. Very, very luxurious hotel in downtown Denver, Colorado. I think that's one of the things I missed about working at Walmart though, is like I missed the travels. I didn't miss being gone from my wife, but I missed being able to see different parts of the United States on Walmart's dime. But anyway, so I was sitting at this hotel, and the reason why it's like a speakeasy with a cigar lounge there. You guys know I'm into cigars. So I was sitting there and I was having a conversation with some just random guy who was just sitting next to me. And we just kind of got to talking. And he was asking me about me and what I did. And I told him, and I'm like, hey, you know what? It's the weekend. I'm just here, I'm in Denver for 3 months, just having a nice cigar. And I don't know where I'm going to go from here. And I asked him, like, what about you? He said, you know what? I just came to town for the Denver Nuggets game. And I'm like, but where do you live? He said, oh, I live in New Mexico. Okay, so you flew in from New Mexico, and then when you going back to New Mexico, "Oh, I'm flying back tomorrow morning. I'm just here for the night to attend the Denver Nuggets game." And then one thing led to another, and I asked him what he did for a living. This guy sold software for a living, and then he ended up exiting that business and selling that business to, I think, Toshiba or something. I've told this story before in the past. And he walked away with a windfall. Windfall mean money. So as I sat there talking to him, and he was like, "Oh yes, Rich, by the way, you see that gentleman right there?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Well, that's my son-in-law. We both came together for the Denver Nuggets game, and then we are flying back to New Mexico tomorrow." So you know me, you know, say me now. I had to ask him, so okay, yeah, you're super successful. What is the secret to your success? The guy said to me, Active Dodger, he said, it's three things. It's who you marry, where you live, and the type of work you do. It did not register at that time to me. Okay, wait. So you're telling me that it's not investing in stocks. You're telling me that it's not working hard. You're telling me that it's not burning the midnight oil. He said, listen to me in this life. If you want to be successful, it's who you marry, where you live, and the type of work you do. You see, this is our investment move. Had kids not been, you see, this is where the who you marry part comes in. If we were not aligned and there was and the house wasn't harmonious, this investments that we are doing in Nigeria, our businesses, our stock portfolio, active, you are also a stock investor as well. All of this is as a result of me and kids coming together as one and strategizing our financial future. You see, who you marry plays a big deal. And then the where you live part is the environment. When you break this down into little subtle things, where you live is not always about where you live physically, it's also where you live mentally. Where is your mind? Where is your mind parked? Where do you live mentally? And then the type of work you do, you have got to love what you do for a living. If nothing else, if you are doing a job that you absolutely hate, make sure that that job is a stepping stone towards a business or towards some sort of financial independence. Listen, you are better off working a 9 to 5 that you hate and then setting aside 25% of your income into stocks, into investing in stocks. So you can one day be free of the rat race. There's nothing wrong with working a job. You have to work a job. Nothing wrong with that. People think business is just waking up anytime you want to. It's harder for you to run a business than it is for you to have a 9 to 5 day job. I decided last year when I left the corporate world to optimize for freedom. My own wasn't, oh, I want to make more money. I want to be independent. You see, no, I am optimizing. I chose to optimize for freedom. Freedom to come and go as I want. Freedom to be able to build my YouTube channel. Freedom to be able to take the market. Hey, Active. This was Active. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the video, but this was part of the research I did at Walmart. So I got this from the Walmart store. So what we're gonna be doing is when we go retail or when we start pushing trade shows, this is how we want to package our crayfish. So this one fits, this is like an 8 pack. eight pack into a box, into a perforated box like this. But when I start working with the manufacturer in China, we're going to make this into a 12 pack box. So then that way we can sell them, let's say, in dozen bundles for wholesalers. So maybe a master case can be what is 12 times 4? Or maybe a master case can be what? So you have 12, you have 12 24, you have another 12 48. So 48 times 2, a master case can be 96 or something on a master case for retailers. And then when we start displaying in shelves, in store shelves, we want it to be in something like this that's just easily removable. You take this off, there's another one. You take you take that, there's another one. This is where we are going. We are online is still online is still our primary distribution channel, but we want to start getting into physical retail. So, Active Dodger, you were in today's podcast now when I went live. So, I got this Maggie box from Walmart. So, I just got to design this, work with a manufacturer in China to build something like this for us to make it easy for us to pack our products. But what was the last thing I was saying about the type of work you do? Well, what you're optimizing for. I chose to optimize for freedom. No company in this world is going to be able to pay me what my business eventually is going to pay me. There's a certain point that you get. It's not, money doesn't matter anymore. It's your health and freedom that matters. Because you can be in a job that pays you $200,000 a year, but you'll be working from sun up to sundown. You'll be available. Look at what's happening right now in corporate America. There's no such thing as work-life balance anymore. You basically become the identity of your job. There's no separation. And then unfortunately, heavens forbid you get laid off from that job. See, that job, your identity was linked to that job. And if you get laid off, then what? Here's my best advice for those who are working a 9 to 5. Continue working your 9 to 5 job, but make sure that you set aside, even if it's 10% of your income, open up a Fidelity brokerage account today and start consistently every month buying S&P 500 index funds or buying stocks. It will amaze you to see your money grow. You see, that is your investments. You don't always have to go and buy a house. You don't, to be quite honest with you, if I had to do it all over again, all the money that I invested back home in Nigeria, building our, um, building our, what do you call it? Our shortlet, our Airbnb, I would have invested every penny in the S&P 500 or Walmart stocks. If I had to do it all over again, then I would just focus Nigeria on this. This would have just been my only focus in Nigeria is CPG, consumer packaged goods. Una, they try do too much. I don't know what's in the app. So, yes, so I was just kind of I piggy banked off what Active said about marriage. We don't know either till we connect. We just need you to be the conduits. I'm happy to be that. I'm glad to connect people. But on the surface, she seems ambitious and patriotic. My sister and her husband do the same thing. They open pharmacies and sell to the likes of CVS, Kroger, and others. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I did see that packaging when you were at Walmart. There you go. Yeah, yeah. I just went back, man. There was like one of these Maggi sachets left. I just took out the Maggi sachet, put it in another box, and then took this one. On my way out, when I was checking out, I showed them, I'm like, hey, I have this empty box. So is it okay if I took it? They said, yes, yes, sure. There's nothing inside. You're good to go. So something like this is what I'm talking. Very nice and compact, easy to carry. This is our retail future here. This is our retail future. Something like this. You know what I mean? So, what was your previous role in the corporate? I was a project manager. I worked in project management. A sachet of crayfish pack sound good. Yeah. Active Dodger, will figure it out. That work thing was killing me. The problem with North America. It's not easy. But the thing about is love what you do. You see, when I was in project management at Walmart, I was making six figures. But I was gone 21 days out of every month. I didn't know my kids. I was trying to parent using Facebook FaceTime. That was my parenting. It was kids that held down the family when I was gone. Made all the money in the world. Business class, finest hotels, rubbed shoulders with some of the wealthiest people in rural America. I golfed almost every weekend. Like, say tomorrow, no go come. You know, say me, I be golfer. Where did I not golf? At the end of the day, I was not happy. I was not. Six figures, over $100,000. That was what I was making. I was not happy with the rat race. I didn't really control much. And when your job is dependent on the performance of others, it also becomes an issue. I, I had a corporate card. My allowance every day for food was $65 a day. How much do I really need to eat a day for food? That was my per diem. But right today, I would rather be a Walmart investor than a Walmart worker. And I like the Walmart investor better because I don't have to get up every day and go to Walmart to go and work. I can just invest in Walmart stocks and watch my investments grow organically and compound organically. So that was it. Money is not optimized for freedom. And let me tell you the downside of being an entrepreneur is entrepreneurship is lonely because now you are making all of the decisions. You don't really, I mean, yes, I can probably say Kate is like the co-CEO of our business. So we bounce ideas with each other and stuff like that. But the entrepreneurship pathway is very, very lonely for those who want to get into entrepreneurship. Keep that in mind. You are going to spend, CEOs will tell you this. The CEO position is one of the loneliest positions you can have in corporate America. CEOs are lonely because you're just up there by yourself. Same thing with entrepreneurship. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I will not have it any other way because the success or failure of my business lies solely on my shoulders. If you are in the corporate world, your success is dependent on others doing their job. And when one person drops the pass, it can affect a whole team. But either way, and I'm going to close with this, we're over 2 hours. Whether you choose the pathway of entrepreneurship or you choose the pathway of an entrepreneur, or sorry, a pathway of an employee, just wake up every day and give your job or your business all of you. Everything you've got, give it to your job. Everything you've got, give it to your business. You are going to be rewarded one way or another. If you choose to cut corners, it will backfire. Just know that whether you love the job or you hate the job, give it everything you've got. Whether you love, listen, there are sometimes I wake up, I don't want to do this thing. I don't want to. Sometimes I have self-doubt. What is it that I'm really doing? Can this work? But I still wake up every day and give it everything I've got. And then when I go to bed at night, I always ask myself, Rich, did you give your business everything today? And if the answer is no, then there's a problem. But I always make sure at the end of the day, my answer is yeah, I gave it everything I possibly can today. That's why I went, I did that market research. I'm positioning our business. Give your business all of you, or give your job all of you. Don't try to cut corners. Don't try to cheat your employer any more than you're trying to cheat your business. Some of you are like that. You go to work. We used to have a, man, this is one of my co-workers. This guy go show up to work, go bathroom for 2 hours. He go bathroom for 2 hours. Everybody else is working. This guy did bathroom for 2 hours. You see, cheating the man is cheating yourself. But when you give everything, give that job everything you've got. Because at the end of the day, you chose to do that job, right? It's not as if they put a gun to your head. You chose to do that job. You signed that job offer, knowing good and damn well the responsibilities of the role. Some of you, you sign a job offer and then you show up to the job and start complaining. Some of you, you quit your job to start a business, and then when things are not moving as fast as you want, you quit that business. I guess that's why CEOs get the big bucks. Man, majority of them, what? They probably make 20 plus $1 million a year with stocks. Those who are on the lower end, let's say that are making, let's say, 5 million a year, which is low for a CEO, just know that their package is probably a $50 million a year package with stock options. So everybody wants to be a CEO. Just know that CEO lonely. Oh. Being a CEO is lonely. Sure, I asked them, not my field of expertise, but it handsomely works for them. I am more in the financial technology field. Hey, Active, I know you said you invest in the US. What positions do you have? Which companies do you invest in here in the US? You see, for me with the S&P 500, it automatically goes to like the top Fortune 500 companies in the USA, like Nvidia. I'm probably sure Nvidia is also part of my position. My Palm project, they complement your crayfish. What is that? Is that like in your, is that like Ola Ola? Like what do you mean pound? What's pound? Okay. What project are you in that may complement the crayfish? We just want to we want to get into stores. See, plain and simple. We want to get into physical retail. I definitely want to hear more about you. Is that really your dog? How did you end up with Shih Tzu? Pounded yam, pounded yam. Okay. Where do you source your flour from? Active. Do you? Let's look at pounded yam. Let's look at Ola Ola. Ola Ola is really doing very well in the US. Let's look at Amazon for Ola Ola. I'll pull it up here in a second, guys. So this is one of the top pounded yams in the US. Ola Ola pounded yam flour. I'm waiting for my television to catch up. My back end is a little slow. Hey, Active, are you aware of this brand? This Ola Ola brand. Very, very popular here in Nigerian stores. A lot of Nigerians actually eat this brand. It's okay, so £5 for 30 bucks. CJ, are you seeing this? Do you guys eat Ola Ola there do you eat Ola Ola in Canada? So when you say pounded yam, Active, is this what you mean? My former sources. You want me to sell you my former sources? You want me to sell that to you? So okay. So pounded yam flour, Ola Ola is a leader in that space. They are a Nigerian brand, I think, but I think they are distributed here in the USA. Let's see. Ola Ola, da, 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 da. I think they are USA distributed. Okay, you see here, manufactured by Usol International Foods in Sacramento, California. You guys see that? That's the maker of Ola Ola. So let's go to usol.com, their website. Usol.com and see what they're about. Usol no get website. Usol Ola Ola. I missed something. Okay, sorry, it's usolfood.com. These are the guys that make the Ola Ola brand, though. So they are Nigerians based in the USA. They have a wholesale for people who want to distribute the Ola Ola brand. Okay, I definitely want to hear more. Okay, a pounded yam. I did see I haven't seen Ola Ola, but I'm more of an Eba girl. Ola sucks. Inevitably, my version will be great. What would separate your version from Ola? Hey guys, this I know Ola is pounded yam. Another one is plantain flour. Plantain flour yam is actually very good. Let's look at plantain flour. If I were to choose between regular, as a matter of fact, active, if you have if you have your product already, let me know where I can buy one. I will patronize you. Because just like CJ, we are also into Gary. We eat a lot of eba. But if your brand is available, your pounded yam, I've eaten Ola Ola before. I like it. One thing about it that I don't like though is it puts you to sleep. I can only eat Ola Ola when I'm ready for bed. There's something about it that just puts you straight to sleep. But active, if you have your brand, let me know where I can buy. I'll patronize you. I'll buy a pack or two. Maybe the next swallow. Actually, as a matter of fact, tonight we're having leftover afang soup that I cooked a few days ago. So I'm having that with eba as well. Rich, this brings us to our topic from yesterday. Ola Ola is a Nigerian brand. Good observation, but do they own that category? Do they own the category of the Iyon? This is good. You see, Ola Ola is doing what I talked about yesterday. We need something to tie. You see, when I think of pounded yam, I think of Ola Ola. But you don't really see them really. Again, I know it takes a lot of money to brand and market globally, but this is good. See, you sold international foods. Let's hear about their story. They were established in 92, so they've been around for a long time. They've been around for a long time. Ola Ola products. So they have pounded yam, they have palm oil, cooking oil, they have flowers, they have seasonings. Let's check out their seasonings. So they have Ola Ola pepper soup, African pepper, soup powder, suya pepper, crayfish. Is this crayfish? Yeah, so they have crayfish too. Yeah, this is a good brand. They have quite a variety of products. So they are the ones behind Carotino palm oil. For Nigerians in the diaspora, they do. Yeah, Nigerians are getting health conscious too. Make a high fiber swallow. People like my parents are eating oat fufu instead. Let's look at oat fufu. Hey, introduce them to plantain flour now. Oat fufu. First time I'm hearing that. Sorry, guys. Like I told you, I have allergies. CJ, is this the oat fufu you are talking about? Ola Ola has oat fufu now. They have their own version of oat fufu. I like the branding. I really like the branding. These guys, like I said, they've been. When I was in college, it was these guys that we eat when I was in college. These Ola Ola fufu guys. But plantain flour, plantain flour. I haven't tried this before. Maybe I'll order this. Make America healthy again. Maha. Everybody has to be food conscious these days. You got to be food conscious. You can't just be eating recklessly anymore. All right, 2.5 hours. Hey, I got to get going. But as always, thank you so much, guys, for your time. And be sure to like, share, and comment. And also subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber. We are at, I think, 22,000 subscribers now. 22,100 subscribers. I think we can honestly hit 25,000 by the end of this quarter, to be honest with you. You need to reach out to your customer base. Products are based on needs and localized value proposition. You see, a company like Ola Ola is still relatively tailored towards the diaspora and local Nigerians. So we are trying to get out of all that. I want to be a mass market brand. I love Nigerians, don't get me wrong. I love you guys, but I want to reach an American audience. I want to expand outside of the ethnic. I want to get out of the ethnic food space, more into a mass market food space like McCormick and Old Bay and all those guys. That's where I want to go. That's why I don't really have any desire to be in a Nigerian provision store. No desire to be in a Nigerian provision store. Not saying I won't sell to them, but no desire to be in a Nigerian department store. Or Caribbean. I want to be at Walmart. I want to be at Kroger's. I want to be at Aldi's. I want to be at major grocery retail stores. That's where I want to be. But Active, did you answer me? I need to know, is your product, have you gone to markets yet with your pounded yam? Or are you still working on your pounded yam? Have you gone to markets? If so, when do you plan on going to markets? You can do that because of your product versus swallow. Yep, 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 yep. Let me tell you something. What do you call these people? Chili. Chili is very big in Texas. That's my audience. Chili soup, chili stew. You throw crayfish inside chili soup, chili stew. Texas, that market, that Texas market with the chick with the chilies. You know? Rich, I am a citizen of four countries, but each of them have their unique value. That's right. So so US, I know US, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. What's the fourth one? UK. Are those the four countries you're a citizen of? US, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. So you have four passports. What would you say is the best passport and the worst? I know Nigerians right now are hurting. Like people, if you hold a Nigerian passport right now, man, those guys are hurting. I watched a video yesterday with Tayo I. He paid $150,000 to buy a passport from some country because he wasn't getting anywhere with his Nigerian passport. I didn't know you can actually pay 150K to buy some sort of passport from some country. And the seafood boils. Yep, 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 yep. Seafood boils, shrimp, rice dishes. Yep. UK. We are making progress. Come April, we'll see where we stand. Let me know. You already have a customer. I will buy your, I'm not talking about free stuff. I will buy your product. Who bought a passport? Oh, there's a Nigerian travel blogger named Tayo I. No, let me type his name here. Tayo I. No. He's a Nigerian blogger. He paid $150,000 to buy a passport from some crazy country I've never heard of. Sell in Florida. Yeah, that's what he did. Do you guys know? Is anybody watching knows which country Ty I know paid 150K? Let me see if I can find him on YouTube. Ty I know passports. Okay, it's Saint Kitts and Nevis. Have you guys heard this country before? Saint Kitts and Nevis. I guess Saint Kitts and Nevis they sell passports too. Saint Kitts and Nevis. You guys heard that country before? It depends on the destination. In Europe, I use UK passport, free access. Tires, yep, yep, yep. I listened to his story. I actually like Tayo Aino more now that is kind of making rounds in the podcast circuits. I don't really watch his I don't watch his travel videos, but I watch his podcast interviews. The last video of Tayo Aina that I watched was when he was in Atlanta. But outside of that, I tend to watch more of his podcast interviews now. And some of these podcast interviewers, una no sabi interview people. Una no sabi, una no know wetin una dey do. Una no know wetin una dey do. This podcast interviewer. Let me tell you something when it comes to interviewing a guest. Guys, I just pulled up the Tayo Aina YouTube page. Let me see when it pops up. So Tayo Aina has 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube. He's a Nigerian, he lives in Portugal. He's actually said he's leaving Portugal to move somewhere, maybe to Dubai or so. So let's see, the last video he did was a side of America they don't want you to see. Maybe I'll catch that. He said something about Dirty December. But I think this was the one that I watched. This one, you see, Inside America's City of African Millionaires. This was 4 months ago was the last time I watched this video. We kind of went around to Houston as well and all that stuff. So, like I said, I enjoy his videos when he is appearing on podcasts and he is being interviewed. But I got to say something to all you interviewers. Remember, it's not about you. If Tayo Aino comes to your podcast for an interview, it's about him. People are tuning in to listen to him. They are not necessarily tuning in to listen to you. I know some of you are still green. You are still rookies in this online content game, and you try to make it about yourself as opposed to about your guests. And that is why me personally, I like this talking head kind of content because I'm not dependent on a guest. Nobody they carry Rich and Barry. Rich and Barry they carry himself. This guy I interviewed was a friend of mine. I've known him since 1990, since 2008. Almost, how many years is that? So I'm not really out interested in going out and getting guests to come. Yeah, me, I'm in this. This is a marathon to me. This is not a sprint. So some of you, you get these guests like the Tayo Ainos, and you get so excited. You start chopping it. Listen to me. Ask questions. Ask engaging questions. You don't know how to ask engaging questions when you have guests on your programs. And people have reached out to me before. They want me to come on their shows. They want to interview me. Oh boy, me, I know I'm no. Nothing against them. But I would be remiss if I went on a podcast and then the podcast host is there playing games and trying to be my friend and trying to. No. Ask quite in-depth, engaging questions is what I want from you. But then again, every viewer is not like me. When I'm looking at these things, I'm looking for specific things. I'm not interested in what you ate for dinner. I'm not interested in your favorite color. I'm not interested in that. Some certain signals I'm looking for. And I've seen a lot of this podcast interviewers, they drop the ball when they're interviewing people like the Tyler knows of the world, which by the way, is really making Africa proud. A guy like that, Nigerian government, no fit make deal with him. You see, CJ, you talked about partnerships. Somebody like Tayo Aina should be in partnership with Nigeria. Nigeria should be sponsoring this guy. Tie us to you. But they frustrated Ty enough to the point where he had to go and pay $150,000 to buy a passport from St. Kitts and Nevis, a country that nobody has ever heard of before. He's leaving Portugal because he said Portugal is very, from what I took from the interview, Portugal doesn't have the kind of opportunity that Dubai has. So the person that was interviewing him asked him where he wanted to go, and he said he might likely return to he might likely go to Portugal. But remember, one of the reasons why he went to Portugal to begin with, because he was looking for a centralized place to travel, like a central hub where you can travel the world from. Portugal provided that from a centralized traveling capacity. But in terms of an economic capacity, Portugal no be amo. Money no de Portugal now. Light feed de Portugal, but money no de Portugal. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. I'm gonna wrap up. I wasn't expecting on doing 3 hours, but I don't want to do 3 hours today. So it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. We're gonna end with this. Hey, CJ, I'll catch you now next time. Hey guys, be sure to like, share, and comment. Subscribe to the channel. Spread the word. Spread the word. This resonates with you. And I'll be back tomorrow for another fresh topic. I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but just look out for it. Be sure when you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the notification bell so when I'm live, you are notified in your inbox. Okay, CJ, I'll catch you. Active Dodger. Nice one today. We'll talk later now.